You wanna start by talking about this?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that.
It's on.
Okay.
This is
Wednesday, February 1st, 2023. I'm Regan Starkey. This is a work session for the Nimishillen Township Zoning Commission. Larry Marks is here, he's the vice chair, and Rich Linder, and also our zoning inspector, Jeff Shipman is here. We're gonna, as we talked about last meeting, we're gonna try to get through the first 8 pages of the book. We're trying to rewrite the book this year, and as we stated last meeting, we're gonna keep the book the same as it is this year, because we have to have all the changes in by March. We're not gonna make that. So what we're gonna do is go through it piecemeal. We're gonna start at the beginning and go 8 to 10 pages a meeting and make any changes we wish to make, and then file it with the regional planning, and then they'll get back to the trustees. Hopefully we can get 8 or 10 pages done every night. And that's the plan. So, without any further ado, Larry was kind enough to bring in a paper telling the zoning reasoning and purposes of zoning, and I'm gonna let him talk about that.
I thought if we're gonna go through the effort here, and first thing we're doing is definitions, we might as well make sure we all agree on, you know, the purpose of zoning as it applies to us in Nimishillen Township. And also 5 principles or 4, whatever we decide, to test each of these sections as we go through to make sure we don't get too far off the rails here when we're talking about this stuff. So as long as, you know, we agree that these are the 4 or 5 principles that we have zoning in Nimishillen Township and the purpose, that should keep us on track. And then, as Jeff indicated, if we can kind of keep the verbiage and everything the same and try to follow these principles, it all should follow some logical process here. So I've done this in the past, at least with bigger projects, to keep people kind of focused on this. No, you know, if you get too far off to the right, hey, this is what we're really supposed to take care of. That's that fringe stuff we don't need to deal with. So kind of the first thing here is, I think we ought to talk about, okay, you know, what's the reason or purpose? And I would say that this or some facsimile of this ought to be like the first or second page in our book. So somebody opens the book and says, why do we have zoning? What's the purpose? Oh, there it is, the purpose of zoning. It's a system of land use planning that involves dividing the municipality into different areas, zones that are designated for specific land uses. The purpose of zoning is to regulate the use of land in a way that promotes health, safety, and general welfare of the community, and to protect the value of property.
That says it all.
I boiled down a number of things to try to get it to that. So we can talk about whether we want to wordsmith that some more. But then the kind of the 5 principles that I thought kind of applied here was compatibility, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase what this says, but we have, just like our map, we keep specific zoning in specific areas so we don't impede on, you know, the people's right to enjoy their property. So that's pretty much what that says. It says regulations aim to ensure that different lands are compatible with each other. So you keep the business district separate from residential in some cases. Efficiency, zoning can help ensure that the land is used in a way that maximizes efficiency for the community's resources. That doesn't exactly apply right now for us. I mean, we don't have, most areas don't have sewers that, you know, the township doesn't have sewers. They don't have public water. So, but we may someday, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you can throw that out, keep it in, I don't care.
Don't keep it in, because I think it's important, and it's just not, I mean, it's public services, but it's also roads and bridges and things like that.
That's fair.
So I like that.
Okay. Third item, equity. Zoning regulations can be used to promote fairness and equality within the community, ensure that different land uses do not have negative impacts on certain groups of people or areas of the community. And we do that a lot here. We try to make sure that, fences don't impede on people and we don't, get too close to churches and things like that. So I think that's a lot of what we do already. Sustainability is the fourth item here. Zoning can be used to promote sustainability, develop practices, and promote the natural environment. Okay, we have a lot of farming and things that go on too. So, although that's not specific to our zoning, but sustainability is part of it. And then quality of life, I think, is the number one from my perspective. Zoning regulations can be used to protect the quality of life in the community by regulating things like noise, traffic, and other factors that impact the livability of an area. So,
I think that's well done, and I think that the key here, and I think we get away from it sometimes, is in the top paragraph, regulate the use of land. That's what we're here to do. We're here to regulate the land use, not people or civil matters, or
Right.
It's gotta be land use, the use of the land. That's the whole reason of zoning. And I'm glad that that's in there, cause that makes a lot of sense, and then it goes on to say the health, safety, and general welfare of the community, which we are trying to do.
Right.
Sometimes people don't believe us, but
as well as protect the value of people's property.
That's right.
That's
right.
so.
And we try that too, and we can't always do that fairly, but the key is land use. Land use, land use, land use. It's like realty, location, location, location.
So I don't know how we're gonna proceed with this stuff, but I don't know if we make a motion for each one of these, or we're gonna do it just as a grouping.
I think,
I think we need to go back the way we used to do it.
and,
When it was a county that said, don't make any motion until you're ready
Yeah.
to hand, like 6 months, but you know what, I'm thinking, we piece this thing apart, everything is on that paperwork, when you see that one that's in there, and then you look on the back of it, it proceeds, and then we're, using it, I'll tell you why I did this. And then it goes down to where it comes back, and then it goes to the, trustees, and
Right.
everything is on that paper, so when we mark it off, and they wanna come out and take a look at it and say, this is what we did. Alright, but the main thing is that you see that little paper in there and it says send a copy to the regional planning, alright?
right,
I didn't have anything to send them, a copy.
yeah,
So I told Sandy, I said, let's make something like that, so only like the front page of that will be copied off, sent to them, and then the changes that Sandy's making in the book. So
yeah.
we could send it down to Sandy, and you can say, okay, let's go ahead and agree to take, the last 3 months and send that into, make a motion to send what Sandy's got, built, what's green, what's red, remember?
Right,
Yeah,
yes.
we can do that at your,
Well, what about, just to speed things up tonight, we come to an agreement on each thing and then make a motion at the end.
Accept it, okay?
Is that all right?
That's fine.
yeah, and everything you okay, whatever you mark up, and I'll write
Right.
to Sandy, cause I told her she makes a folder for
Right.
a new book. And she'll put that stuff in there, if there's no changes tonight,
Yeah,
nothing
okay,
goes in.
okay. But I think that this should be included somewhere, Larry. I think this is great.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, the first page of the book should be this.
Well, this is something else, I think we talked about this, that there's gonna be, something in the book that you have your resolution, but I went through that, office down there and I was pulling stuff out of files and whatever, added things that should have been in the book.
There aren't.
They were never put in there, so I didn't even know they
Yeah, you
existed.
look, we should have had the Airbnb in there. It's not
Never
in
been
there.
there,
I mean, we passed that, the trustees passed it. It's not in the book.
and there's other,
It's in the file cabinet down there.
yeah, there's a bunch.
That was a lot of work.
It was, yeah.
I got a book this thick of stuff that we've done,
Yeah, that's not in the book.
yes, and the stuff from the past.
Yeah,
That they accepted, I think every once in a while they felt like they needed to accept something here, make it look like we're doing something, I
Yeah.
tell them no.
yeah,
But, now it's time for you guys to take a look at it and say, yeah, put this in, but I think there should be an additional thing in the back of the resolution that says, go back to these, whatever. But I never had look at, and I didn't know existed.
Right. Yeah, and see, that stuff was supposed to be, like, an example is Airbnb. It was supposed to be printed on a page like this,
Yeah,
and then say, admitted in this page in the book, and stuffed in there and say amended, whatever date it was, January 1st, 2021. And it never got done.
no, it never, see, it got to the point where, you know, a COVID came in, right?
Yeah, I understand
And
that,
everything
yeah.
started, and I thought, you know what, this is gonna take a little while to get.
Yep.
And then when I started looking at the book, I said, you know, there's a lot more work here.
Yeah,
And I figured at the end of this year, we're gonna be caught up, and we got everything that we're supposed to have in there, and,
Yep.
you know, this is our year.
I'm hoping that's the case. Yeah, well, for your benefit, it would help.
Yeah.
But that stuff's supposed to be in the book that we've already passed, and it's not. So,
I was
anyway.
thinking that was one of those things that we would put on the back, we wouldn't put it in the book,
Mm-hmm,
but it's an amendment
mm-hmm,
that's, kinda like, don't put all the words in it,
mm-hmm,
but we say, okay, this is part of the, resolution, but it's the, like they do for, like the appeals, you know what I mean, where they go section 102, 103, yeah, something like that, where they can go into the back, and, because these big ones, we can go ahead and put them in the back, and then you can go back if you wanna read it, but the main resolution is right still there.
okay,
Cause I brought up stuff from the 1975
wow,
resolution that we actually, because they didn't overwrite it,
right,
it's still
in there,
in there, and I was able to pull some stuff.
yeah,
And we could, actually, you know, actually pull some of that stuff forward, I think. You know, they probably want me to talk to the attorney about it, but.
well, I know that, and this is, I don't know if you were on the board, do you remember when, we had Helen Sponsteller come from the prosecutor office to the meeting, and she kept us posted, it was about 2 times ago we rewrote the book. And she insisted that we put the amendments in where they go.
Where they go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, that's how that guy had.
But that was 20 years ago, so I don't know, but she was here at the meeting and she helped us write the book 2 or 3 times ago. But we're gonna try to get it done this year, and I don't care where they go,
Yeah,
but,
I'm just making
yeah, well, I'm just saying that if we're gonna reprint the book, then I kinda think they should go where they go.
If it's got a section number, it's gotta go with the section number.
Right, yeah, we're not putting it in the back and then you'd be flipping around all the time looking.
You know what they did? I think how they heard it was, okay, you got sections in there and you put stuff in there,
Mm-hmm,
but then they turn around and they adopted stuff from ORC.
oh, okay.
And is that supposed, remember who was it? Somebody was saying, do we even have authority to do this?
Right, we don't.
Yeah.
If it's in the Ohio Revised Code, it doesn't need to be in our book. Yeah,
But they adopted stuff here and I'm thinking, what do we,
no, that's probably incorrect, but if
Yeah.
it's, and that's what it says in the introduction, it's talking about, Ohio Revised Code. And if whatever they have takes precedent over anything we do.
right?
We don't have, if Ohio Revised Code said that the sky must be blue, we don't need to put in here the sky must be blue.
Yeah,
It's just,
We're getting 5G, so.
yeah, exactly, and we can't say, we don't want 5G.
but you know what, they said something like, well, we need to adopt that. I says, no, we don't.
Uh-uh.
We don't have to adopt what they do.
No, it does not have to be in here.
Oh.
Nope.
It's way out, okay.
That's a good example of 5G.
This book would be that thick.
Yes, that's right.
And you never know where to go.
That's why I
Right.
was talking about that outside amendment thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I agree with Reagan that if you have something new, it needs to be in the book.
Where it goes.
Where it
In this
goes.
section.
Yep.
Not,
Anything you
not
make
at the
up.
end of the book, because there's not, people are not gonna look at the end of the book to find what they need
Mhm.
to find out.
No, it's gotta be where it goes, and if we're gonna, it sounds like we're planning on reprinting the book like next February.
Yeah, there'll be a whole new,
Once it gets
advance.
approved,
Yeah.
and it's time anyway, I mean, that one was printed,
That'd be 5 years, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to do it every year. I don't know how we're gonna get that done, but Ohio revised code says we're supposed to do it every year.
Jackson Township does it.
Every year. Wow. That's why we can't get anything done at the, our regional plan in Jackson's talking about.
That could be.
Yeah. Okay, so, let's get started. I'm on, I don't know what page it is, but this is the introduction page. And see, we haven't done it for 4 years, so by the time we get it, it will be 5 years, that's right. Okay. I really don't wanna read the whole thing, but this is kind of a,
Well, you got time, you got a whole year.
yeah, that's true.
Give an hour.
Yeah, that's, exactly, more than an hour wasting our time. This is kind of a, the introduction page is establishing, the Board of Trustees have said they're gonna do zoning. And they also say 5 people have been appointed to the board, or to the zoning commission, that's us. And it says, there's a zoning map, we got that. And then it tells, the date that this one was put in effect, and that was 2019. And then it says later dates of revision to first adoption and map, and there's 3 years there. I know we did a lot more than that, and that's what's in your file somewhere, whatever. Okay, so any changes to that anybody wants to do or deems necessary? Because I don't see anything there, that's just kind of cut dry, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, next page. And this might be a good place for the purpose. This page, because it says purpose and conformance.
Okay.
Maybe we'd like to put this in there.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
That's a good spot for it.
They want, the state has actually came on us and they told us that some of these things we have to look at in the book, so it'll be good for this to be placed in there to let them know.
Yep, what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
I would say it goes before the purpose.
Yeah,
This here really should be the purpose.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Well, it should be, I'd say put it right between pertaining to ORC and the township trustees, put it right there.
right,
I'll put new page, new paragraph. Included. I'm gonna send mine in. It would be nice if we had some, highlighters. There's any in there. Did you see some?
Yeah, sometimes they squirrel stuff in here. I don't see it.
Okay, I don't see it either. Okay, anyway, that's gonna be one thing, I'm gonna put a paper clip on it. And that's the only thing on that page, right, guys? The next one's easy, it's actually left blank. That's my kind of page, we got that one knocked out.
Page 3 looks good to me.
I always wonder why they do that, but it's in their book like 5 times.
Probably if there's more ordinances that will fit on, or like this, if it pushes in, some of that may push on
The
they
next
just
page.
left space for.
There you go. Interpretations of standards and exemptions and limitations. Okay, here's one.
Yeah.
What is,
We're on, 310, section 310, agricultural exempt. Do we need that in there?
it's in ORC.
That's what I thought.
So to your point, this might be a good place to put, you know, agricultural seed, yeah.
C
ORC.
or C regulation.
Yeah,
Yeah. 'Cause that's what,
that would be the definition of it, basically. I mean, that's saying that's where they need to go
Yeah, because it even tells a section of the revised code.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's just good the way it is, I don't know, it just kinda tells it what it is and where to go look for it.
Yeah, I guess it's in there, so I mean, that helps. Township.
The next one gets pretty, pertaining to gets into a lot of description.
Mm-hmm, and it tells all the places to look at ORC. But I guess,
I know it's hard.
yeah, I know.
You see Lexington put it real small, like about 3
Mm-hmm.
sentences, and says they pertain to agriculture, and then we give the section in the ORC, and then, they went to something else, and they made like this big, but, yeah, I always go to ORC on this stuff. Make sure we're not overriding.
Yeah, they only have one sentence in there about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much this first thing right there.
Unaffected.
Well, I like the part in part A there, about we have no power.
Well, that's what
Is that what that?
Lexington's saying, like right
Yeah,
there.
okay.
There was something I put in my book was, they use the word power,
Mm-hmm,
should be authority.
authority, yeah, not power.
Power, what's that, like electrical?
Yeah,
No, I like that, there's what I would put right there.
you think? And
Because that's telling people that we have no authority.
Yes.
what do you think?
Yeah.
Just put this in
I would, yep,
and cross all this out?
So,
yeah, because they can get in,
authority,
all these different
Unless-
size pieces of land will be spelled out in our revised code, so that's pretty good. It's like,
the
we have no
ORC allows
authority.
you to regulate it,
It has
you know what I mean, that's about the way you gotta put it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're
So-
regulating it, that's.
Yeah,
that's
We
what
wanna
they
take
say.
out
tells us what they're doing with that.
All of this section and just put in this?
That's what I would do.
Cause this, part B here says that our resolution can approve. And there it goes back to ORC.
Yeah, I don't. It's a quick read, that's all it is, but I can bring it up and I have it like printed out,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, I don't need it.
I would take that out and just put this small section in, because
That's exactly
this
right.
just causes more
We
back
really,
and forth.
yeah, we know
Okay.
agriculture big time here.
So let's cross section 310(1) out.
Yep.
And I'm gonna make a note here,
Insert there,
use
section 102,
Lexington
section 102.
Township, section 102, paragraph. Okay. Hey, guys, we're doing good. Okay, so we turn the page and there's section C, so cross that off too, okay? Alright. 310(2), public utilities. I think that's fine the way it is, it says Ohio Revised Code, that's only one sentence,
Yeah,
let it go.
I agree.
Okay, section 310(3), retail establishments and alcoholic beverages. We have no power, we wanna change that to authority?
Yes,
Let's do it.
power is too big of a word for other things.
Authority. On any board of county commissioners, board of township trustees, or board of zoning appeals to prohibit the sale or use of alcoholic beverages in areas where the establishment and operation of any retail, hotel, lunchroom, restaurant is permitted. There again, that's Ohio Revised Code, we just put authority, cause we don't have any, okay? Oil and gas drilling. That's a tough one, because we have passed things about oil and gas drilling. It says it's covered under Ohio Revised Code, but we're allowed to adopt health and safety standards.
I think I'd leave that as written.
I think so
It's
too.
pretty good.
I got with someone once and hit them with nuisance and, what their stuff looked like.
Mhm.
You know, hey, it was time for you guys to come up here and paint, and they come up and painted some of them.
And I don't know, if you guys remember when they did the, pipeline, you remember all the signs that went up about you can't, they can't use this road, they can use this road? That's kind of covered in there, and that's allowed by us, the township, for overweight vehicles. We're allowed to govern that,
We actually got a permit pulled that it's gonna be brand new about that kind of stuff.
you know?
And we found it over in Ohio Township in Pennsylvania.
Huh, Ohio Township. Yeah, so let's leave that in, oil and gas drilling, you with us? Everything
Yeah,
good?
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they took care of that themselves.
Right, but
You
they had to get permits from us
Right,
for that.
right.
Yep, they did take care of it, and it was clearly marked.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
They had marked, I mean, every street was marked, you can't drive here, you can drive here,
Yeah.
you know? I
Mhm.
kept thinking, what are these signs? Then I saw what the signs were for. So,
And I
okay,
like that.
okay.
I mean, being a landowner out there, it went right through my land, so I mean, I know that, you know. all
Yeah.
that. And it was nice that they wasn't just driving down, because my road was actually illegal to drive on.
Really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
for them.
Yeah, for them, yes, yeah. And like I said, it does allow the township officials to govern that and
Right.
health and safety.
Yep.
So let's leave that in. Outdoor advertising. Classified as a business use. Yeah, well, look at that, it's exactly the same,
Oh, is it?
word for word.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's fine.
that's good, you like that? Alright, page 6. Submission to the Director of Transportation. Who's the Director of Transportation, is that the state? In the state?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, we kinda like have it in the, county
Well,
too.
Isn't Boothja, whatever his name is, he's the director of federal?
Yeah, that's federal.
I know, but I'm just
He's
saying.
not doing too much. Okay,
Brian, something, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah,
but is this, something we need in here or not?
State approves new highway or highway.
Is that what it's for, a new road?
So before any zoning permit is issued affecting any land within 300 feet of the center line of a proposed new highway or highway for which changes are proposed. So this must be when we get notified that, hey, they're gonna,
Put a new road in or
or
change the direction?
change a curve or something, and it, you know, if we've got something that impedes it
Well,
at 300 foot.
yeah. I know on my nephew's wanting to build, when Clifford divided the farm up there, it had to go through the state.
Mhm.
It had to be approved. There was nothing going to change on it,
Mhm.
but it had to be approved by the state before we could even go to regional planning.
Oh, okay.
I just wonder why this is in our book. Oh, I see, because if there's a new road, then, and it's for what you said, they're gonna
Yeah.
build a house or do
Right.
something else on it, before the zoning permit can happen, we have to submit it to the transportation director.
Right, to make sure that. it
That's
doesn't-
an automatic.
Okay.
I mean, before we could even, I mean, we haven't even gone to zoning for it. I mean, you know, other than we had to go to regional planning, but it had to go to the state first.
Mhm.
To get the
It
road,
involved the state.
Yeah.
even if it's not a state road? or state highway?
Route 62.
Oh, okay, well, that is a state highway. I just wonder, like, if you're building an allotment and.
No, I don't
putting
think
new
it has
roads in.
anything to do with that. That there goes back to us,
Okay,
to the zoning.
so we should leave this in,
I think it should be in there because that's
Yeah.
Okay.
automatic. It has to go there.
Yeah,
okay.
Whether it needs to be in here, I don't know, but,
Have we ever used it?
well, I mean, it's an automatic, like I said, because it involves the state road.
See what they did in oil and gas drilling. They said it's all exempt,
mhm.
but that's not the case, we have some power.
I'll
Or
leave it-
authority.
I'll leave it alone.
Yeah. Okay, I just happened to look over there and saw that, and I'm like, they just, hey, it's exempt.
Yeah, we'll not do that.
Okay, licensed family homes and licensed homes for developmentally disabled persons. Such facilities are limited from zoning control under section, however, zoning permits shall be required, and such facilities will be regulated by this resolution, in addition to other laws of the state of Ohio.
So is that telling me that this is only like for like a nursing home, that type of thing? And because it's a licensed it could be a licensed family home, but I think that's what that's
I'm
kind of referring to.
kinda thinking it's kinda double talk here, because it says we're limited from zoning control, but zoning permits are required and we will be regulating them by this resolution.
Don't you get that under the R1?
What
It's
does
already
that
put in
mean?
there as a conditional use.
Maybe that's why it's in here, because there's certain areas that we're not gonna allow, but it says that we're limited by the state from zoning control. Am I
We might go
confused?
back to
It's
fair
saying
housing.
opposite things to me.
I don't know.
Fair
It could be
housing.
like he's indicated now, that we could regulate what areas
They're
they're
in,
in, so too, so.
okay.
It's not the best description, cause there's nothing else to it.
There's nothing else on there. And do we have a definition for family home and licensed homes, or licensed family homes?
I don't know if I'm down here.
Yeah, we're gonna find out,
Well,
but,
I went through a lot of that.
Yeah, you should know about it.
Yeah, we do that, family home,
Listen to
a residence facility that.
No,
provides
that
room
was
and
fair
board,
housing.
Oh, yeah,
personal care,
yeah.
rehabilitation services, supervision in a family setting.
Hmm.
So it could be foster home,
yeah,
could be a lot of things, so. But there is a.
there is a definition for family home.
Mhm.
I just don't understand unless you're saying, it says limited from zoning control, and then we're saying we have zoning control.
Well, it said in there.
You think it's just the, where we're allowing it?
Yes. Yeah,
We need to put that in there somehow.
Yeah, you couldn't stop, I think they got into, you know, they're talking about adults only, place with to live, gotta be 65 or older. You know, it's kinda like that, nobody underneath that age, and that's kinda like what that, cause we just, they were looking for that to make sure it was in our books. That we do not discriminate against, anything,
Mm-hmm. We can't.
where it's gonna be.
Yep.
Because one thing they were worried about was like, where you went to get, dried out.
Mm-hmm. Drug rehab.
Yeah, rehab houses,
Facilities
yeah,
for-
they didn't want that to be stopped. You know,
I just think if we're gonna put this paragraph in here, which I think we should say what we're regulating in this resolution. The location,
yeah, you get a location, but
or the zoning district.
I'd almost stay away from the words, and that way it's open.
I know, but it's confusing to me this way.
Yeah, well, yeah, what it's put.
Yeah, cause it says they're limited, and then it says we're gonna regulate them.
Again, the way I read it is, under Ohio Revised Code, there's limited regulations. But
Okay,
we have more regulations
okay,
we can so.
Oh, okay. Like the oil and gas, we're saying that's regulated by the state, and yet we're allowed to regulate some things on safety and health.
Well, I think the key word here is, this is a licensed family home.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, to
The state of
do
Ohio.
anything, you have to have a license to do this kind of thing.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the state is involved in it, as far as I can see.
yeah, there's two different types of homes.
Right.
You guys wanna leave it the way it is?
I don't know, cause you're
I
not
don't know
gonna
how to define it,
you're not gonna be able to predict every situation to say,
No.
well,
No, because
but they
that,
have to have a license, so.
yeah.
right,
But
Okay.
to your point, you may not want this in a residential area, you may want it in general business or someplace, so, yeah.
You need to be very careful with this,
So maybe we should just let it alone.
leave it alone.
That's what you're saying, and that's what I'm agreeing to. You guys okay with that? All right.
Moving on.
Oh, boy, another blank page.
We can get rid of the blank pages, I don't know why they're there.
Seven.
probably so you could write something in there.
Yeah, obviously. Make up your own rules.
Oh, boy, definition.
Yeah.
I think the definitions are pretty good, I read your own, that's gonna be okay.
Okay,
Some of them are.
let's just go through them one at a time and just say yea or
Once
nay.
you read into it,
Accessory use or structure, any problem with that? I don't have one either. Rich?
no, I'm,
Okay. Adult bookstore?
I don't understand the 10% thing.
For what?
It says an establishment.
10% of its retail
10%
space
or more.
dedicated towards.
Right, adult stuff.
Don't they all utilize more than 10%?
Yeah,
Well, they're saying if, whatever, Safety Mart up here decides they're gonna convert from what they're doing today and start bringing in more and more and more of this stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
Or, let's
Well,
say you can
I'm
buy,
questioning, because this is new to me.
let's say you go to the Giant Eagle and you go to the magazine rack,
Yeah,
and the wrapped up magazines are adult use,
Yeah,
that's not 10%. That
Right.
might be 0.1% of the, not even that,
okay.
0.001.
yeah,
So,
I think that's all they're saying.
yeah, I think
To
that
be
makes sense.
classified, it has to be 10% or more of retail space.
Right, to be called a book, adult bookstore.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
nobody reads books.
No. Okay. Yeah, really, I guess I wanna leave it alone because it does say films, tapes, cassettes, so,
Well, yeah.
I mean, nobody uses I don't even know. I'm not gonna go there, okay, we're done.
Yep.
No field trip. Adult entertainment use.
Yeah, it's just,
Let's leave it too. Okay, alright. Oh, this is a good page, I gotta tell you, it just never stops.
Yeah, I know.
Adult cabaret.
I looked up a couple different districts
It-
to see all this, I mean, and they're all pretty much the same as what this is.
Adult health club. Does anybody have any addresses on these things? Okay, adult massage parlor. Okay. Yep, I think that page is gonna stay the same.
yeah, a lot of description.
Yep, I think it's, oh boy, it continues.
Oh, okay. I was getting that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it keeps on going, it goes for a long time. I was put back by this adult mini motion picture theater and adult motion picture theater.
Yeah, I don't think there are those anymore, but I don't know.
I don't think there's either one of them,
No, I don't either.
cause your theaters have to have the radio.
Yeah,
You know.
you guys wanna eliminate those two? Mini motion
That
picture
their
and
part,
motion
I would
picture?
say, we don't
Unless
need it.
there's a threat that it could come back or something.
I don't see that happening. Okay, we're gonna get rid of those two.
Okay.
Agricultural.
Yeah.
Yep, I like it. Alley. Yep. Apartment, C dwelling. No, I gotta go back and see dwelling now. Okay. Then we break down the dwellings then. Alright, leave that. Automobile service station. Okay, that's alright with everybody?
I would put down, instead of gasoline, kerosene and that, I would put, because diesel's involved with this, I would put any fuel.
Well, then it says or any other motor vehicle fuel. I mean, we don't have to put gasoline, kerosene, we can put
That's
gasoline,
what I'm saying,
kerosene,
you just
diesel.
put fuel.
Just cross out any motor vehicle fuel. Okay, here's a question for you. What about an electric plug? Is that an auto service station?
That'll be,
I mean, that's gonna come.
Mhm.
There's gonna be places where you plug them in. Is that an automobile service station?
I don't think in the context of this it is. but-
Okay. I don't know if we need to put that in there. Maybe we should think about that. And then most of those are on public places anyway. Okay, never mind. I got ahead of myself. Alright, we're just gonna get rid of gasoline, kerosene, or any other. We're gonna say motor vehicle fuel. Basement,
that would cover that, wouldn't it?
yeah, I think so.
It would cover the electric.
Basement, 1/2 of its height below the average grade. Okay, shall not be counted as a story. Billboard is the same as outdoor
That
advertising.
there I don't agree with.
What, basement?
Right.
Why?
Because it is, if you build a bi-level house like mine,
Mm-hmm.
it's considered living area.
Oh. But I think all they're saying is it's not considered a story, you're still,
Mine is,
you're
it's
still.
considered, because they have inspection on that, and it's a living area.
It's not fully below grade though, is it?
It don't have to be fully below grade.
Well, it has to be half below grade.
Yeah.
Right, and
Is
mine
it?
is.
Okay,
Oh.
alright.
Part of mine is fully below grade.
Oh, okay, it's,
You understand what I'm saying? I got my land's
Yeah.
sloped,
right,
and the one end of the
you have an
house,
exposed wall.
there's no exposed basement wall other than 2 courses,
Mhm.
but the rest of it is, goes down on the front of the house, it's
Mhm.
only half under the wall, under the ground.
Mhm.
I'm not getting picky, but I'm just,
But is it, the building story having more than 1/2 its height below the average grade?
maybe
So-
I'm not
Get
reading
into
it right.
average grades too,
Yeah,
so you take.
Yeah, so in the front, if your grade is 8 foot, or in the back it's 8 foot, in the front it's 4 foot, then your average grade is 6 foot. And so then that would be not considered a base, or that would be considered a basement, right? I know it's not what you're
I
saying.
know, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I'm not trying to be picky, I'm just.
No, we gotta
this is
consider
what
all
I-
this. So what they're going to do though, is say that your house can't be higher than our height requirements from
From the grade level, from the average grade level.
average, from 6 foot. If that's, I'm just throwing numbers out there, if it's 4 and 8.
Yeah,
I don't know if it is, but sounds like it, that's what we're talking about.
right.
A base, it doesn't say anything about what living space it's considered. It's just about the height
Just the
requirement.
definition of what we call in the basement.
Right,
Well, the height requirement.
Has
would
nothing
be
to do
from
with
the-
this
From the
tax, is
average
it?
grade to the
Right.
peak of the roof.
right. And that's all that basement definition is considering.
Okay,
I
that's
think.
fine then, I'm
Okay.
good, I was just throwing a question in there.
Yeah.
No, that's good, we
Wait,
need to
wait.
know these things. Mine is a full basement, but, and there again, I gotta look, we haven't done these for a long time. Just curious. Okay, crawl space isn't in there. Cause I do have some crawl spaces too, so,
Well,
and that's not,
a lot of them have crawl spaces, a lot of
Yeah.
the older homes have
Yeah.
crawl spaces.
yep,
Now they're going more in slab, slab, slab.
yep. Okay, billboard, same as outdoor advertising sign, we'll get to that later then. Board of Zoning Appeals,
That's kind of weak.
do we need that in here? Yeah, I'm not supposed to use the definition and the definition. I mean, does that? Do we even need that in there,
I
because
don't see why.
whenever, I think it's talking about in the book where it says conditional uses and getting permits for the conditional uses, you gotta go before the BZA or variances.
To say that or to say
Yeah.
before the board, that may be why they put it in.
That's what I'm saying, so when we get to those, maybe we should just say BZA or Board of Zoning Appeals rather, and just get rid of this. Cause that's, like you said, that's kinda weak.
Then I would just say BZA and leave that definition there. Cause if you're gonna say in the back, go to BZA.
Change
Mhm.
instead of board, put BZA.
BZA, that's what I would do.
So we should change this to BZA.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Boarding or lodging house, a building other than a hotel or motel or for compensation by day, week, or month, meals and or lodging are provided for at least 3 but not more than 20 people. Do we have any boarding houses?
We just took care of
Would
that.
it be a B?
Yeah.
In here?
Airbnb,
That's
It
part
would
of
fall in there.
Mhm.
yeah. Do we need that in there? Boarding or lodging house?
I don't think,
No, cause we got the Airbnb stuff in
it's
there
like
now.
1920s or something.
Yeah. Yeah, we meant this in 95.
Yeah, we would take care of that, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, if we get that in there, we don't need this in there. Cross that out. Building, a structure having a roof supported by columns or walls and intended for the shelter, housing, or enclosure of persons, animals, or chattels. Do we need to add anything else to that, a building definition? I don't think so.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Building height though, the vertical distance from the average established curb grade or from the average finished grade along the front of the building if higher, measured to the highest point of the coping of a flat roof or the deck line of a mansard roof, or the mean height between the eaves and the ridge for a gable, hip, and gambrel roof. Is that too much?
Got it covered there.
I think that makes, I mean, is that,
He took
you're good with
every
that,
kind of
Jeff? Cause you got, this is one you gotta enforce.
I don't know, you have, I mean, it's established curb grade.
Yeah, I don't like it saying curb.
I don't like that, the average grade
Yeah, why don't we
Because
get rid of
my
established
condition-
curb?
Mhm.
is,
Yeah.
one end of my house sticks way up,
Mhm,
you know, it's full, cause it's a garage,
mhm,
and I drove in the end of it
mhm,
for a long time.
Mhm.
yeah,
So that height is a lot higher,
uh-huh,
you know, but there's what determines my height of my building.
yeah. You wanna get rid of established curb grade and just say,
I mean, the established
average
grade, I would just put average grade.
yeah, cause it could be different
That's good.
Anywhere.
from the
Yeah,
street to the house.
yeah.
You've
What
already,
do you wanna do?
you've already used the average grade back here already, so.
Oh,
I
did that,
keep it
yep.
the same, so.
Cross out established curb. Okay. Carport. Covered automobile parking space not completely enclosed by walls or doors. Carport shall be subject to all provisions in these regulations for private garage or accessory building. Okay,
Mhm.
cemetery.
Got it.
Yep, that's done. Central sewer, a system where individual lots are connected Do we have any central sewer in the township?
No, we don't. Yeah.
Do we
Yeah,
need
they
this
be
in
talking
here,
about that, so we were
or should we leave it in case?
I'd leave it.
Yeah,
just in case.
Do we don't have any, you said?
No?
That means we would have something like Louisville with their sewer system.
Uh-huh. No, we don't have any.
Louisville doesn't extend out into Nimishillen Township?
If they come out, they annex us.
We don't have control over it.
We don't.
Right, okay,
Right, we don't have any
No
facility.
control over in sewer systems around.
right,
Uh-uh.
right, that's controlled by the health.
Well, then let's just leave that in there, in case we do have it.
Yeah.
Child Day Care Center, oh boy.
Seems to me we hammered this one out.
Yeah,
Looks like we know.
2009. Why do we have to say 13 kids? What's a magic, I wonder what we come up with that magic number for?
What's
13,
that?
13 children.
I don't know, that's controlled by the state. The state has regulations on that, cause my sister did one down at church. And I
Maybe
know the
that's where we
state
got
has all
this.
kinds of regulations.
Maybe we went ORC. Let's leave that one alone then. Church. I know. I'm trying to think of some other, religions that don't have one God. Anybody got anything on that? Let's let it alone then. Okay, clinic, medical diagnosis and treatment care of human outpatients. Okay. Yep. Commercial wind energy, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Too hard.
We did that, yeah, we worked a year on that one. Commission. I don't know if we need that in there either, we just say zoning commission, you know? I don't care. Communication tower.
Are we eliminating the commission thing?
Nah, just leave it in there. It is confusing, I think anytime, it should just say zoning commission. Just eliminate the definition and say zoning commission, cause we did define it,
So if you're gonna do BZA, put
ZC.
CC, and then you're gonna have to update whatever, cause I'm sure it references
Yes.
some of these other sections.
And it says a commission, but they could just say zoning commission, let's do that. Just eliminate that, say every place that we find it, we're gonna put zoning commission. Okay, we did communication towers, conditional use. And see, there we go, Board of Zoning Appeals, leave it there. Court, an open unoccupied space other than a yard on the same lot with a building unobstructed from the lowest level to the sky.
That'd be a courtyard.
I would think, I would call it that.
Call it that before I call it court.
Me
I
too.
thought it was something else.
When you see court, you think, oh, I'm going to court. Yeah, let's put courtyard. Okay, is that okay, Rich?
Yeah.
Okay. If I say something that you don't like, tell me.
Oh, I will.
I'm trying to fly
I
through
already
this.
did.
I know you.
He's like it more and more.
The density, the number of families residing on or dwelling units developed on a gross acre of land. Alright. Development area. Owned by one party, partnership, or corporation, or operated as a development unit used to be non-farm, commercial, industrial, residential, other non-earth disturbing activities or planned in another way. That would be like, apartments or, apartment buildings or complexes like Redwood. Is that what a development is? Rather than, Well, it could be an allotment or
They'll be
subdivision.
putting
Right.
in new roads,
Okay,
putting in allotments and.
alright. Developmental disability, I don't know why I have trouble saying that. A disability that originated before the attainment of 18 years of age and can be expected to continue indefinitely constitutes a substantial handicap to the person's ability to function normally in society and is attributable to mental retardation, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, autism, or any condition found to be closely related to mental retardation. Because such condition results in similar general intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior and requires similar treatment and services. That's a lot.
Mhm.
Let alone? Discarded motor vehicle. This is one that, the BZA has a beef with on this. They want us to change it for some reason. Why is that? Do you know?
Discarded motor vehicle?
Yeah.
We actually brought that up in a meeting. And discarded, we try to get that connected. Say like, you discard a motor vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sell it,
Yeah.
so now it's discarded, you have no use for it, so you give it to somebody else. And what I was trying to point out, if the next person gets it and doesn't put plates on it, it
Mhm.
still would be considered a discarded vehicle, cause you can't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is,
so it's
which
kinda
is
like
in
that.
there. It says without, it doesn't have valid
Valid
license
license.
plate or has been sitting outside more than 90 days.
Right.
Yeah, it's labeled discarded until somebody makes it usable. And that's what, you know, these people that are piling cars in there,
Mm-hmm.
I wanna still be able to use that,
Keep this the way it is?
yeah.
Okay. Not to change the subject, but, I don't know the name of the farmer right by the bridge at Route 62 on Easton.
Yes.
There's been a Ford Explorer sitting there for,
Well, that's Ramsey's, but I don't
Ramsey's.
know whose vehicle it is.
Oh, down, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
sitting where the oil
It's been
well lane
sitting,
goes
yeah.
back. It's been sitting there for 5 months.
Yeah,
Hasn't been
It
moved.
was, I
It's a
know, well,
beige Ford Explorer.
because I went over
I
and
know.
built corn stalks for him, and I mean, that was a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's
That
like
thing's
Fox,
been
it was
sitting-
before Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean, like October.
that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it was in October, because
And I don't, it never moves.
that's under abandoned vehicle.
now,
That's on, but we don't have that definition in here.
there's license plates on
Is there?
Yeah.
Well, it's still considered an abandoned vehicle, and there's different things on who gets to remove them,
Hmm.
and then you can get fined for it also.
It's on a farm, so you can't do anything about it.
Agricultural use.
it. It is.
It's on the farm.
I got that.
Yeah,
I got that on
You
the,
can't touch it, so, moving on.
I just wondered why it was there, if anybody knew anything about it.
I didn't, I thought maybe they were like a parking ride, somebody was just.
I know, but it's
there.
there
No,
all the
no,
time.
it's there-
It
it's
don't
there
matter what
24
that time of day you
days.
go through, yeah, yeah, you know what I'm
Seven,
talking
oh,
about.
I know exactly, like I said, I had to go around it.
Yeah.
I'd be somebody in it, don't open the door.
Ooh.
Don't open
I-
it.
No, I never really
I might
looked
be
at
able to
it.
call the sheriff then.
Yeah.
That's exactly,
Mind
And
your
I can't
business.
Yeah, I
believe
mean,
that Bill-
it's none of my business, but I drive by there all the time.
that Bill would
What
have
the
done
heck?
something.
I would've did myself.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is that sitting there? District, a section or sections of unincorporated territory of Nimishillen Township for which the regulations governing the use of building premises or the height and area of buildings are uniform.
Yeah.
Okay? Drive-through facility, drive-in, drive-up. Any facility providing sales or service to customers in or on vehicles or for patrons who remain in their motor vehicles. Okay, is that good with everybody? Dwelling, 1 or 2 dwelling units, used, intended, or designed to be built, used, rented, leased, rented, or hired out to be occupied. Any building. Okay, and then,
Then it breaks
Then it
down,
breaks it
single
down,
family,
okay.
two-family,
mhm.
multifamily. Yeah.
Okay, here's a single family. Was that a dog?
You're watching TV.
Oh. Thought someone stepped on a cat. Here's one that we gotta do something. I don't know what we come up with in 95 with not more than 5 people in a single family home. Yeah,
Which one you,
dwelling, single family. That's not more than 5 people. There are bigger families than that. Even in 95, there was bigger families than that. What do we do with that? Do we put a number on it?
now wait a minute, I looked at this thing,
Uh-huh.
and the way you have to read this, as far as I'm concerned, is with not more than 5 lodgers or boarders. I agree, the number, I don't understand,
But
but,
see, the other one, if you look at Lexington's, they say that single family dwelling has a single family in it. It's like real simple.
I know,
I
but
get
see,
what
you
you're
can't,
saying.
I hate using the
Yeah.
definition in the definition.
and, I mean, I crossed, I put down there, question number of people, because,
You can't tell how many grandpas and grandmas.
Yeah, that's my,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
I said it. That's
but
what
I
I'm
know,
saying.
but somewhere,
They didn't
Too
belong in
abstract,
there.
and you say one
You know what I
family
mean?
unit.
well, here, you go down to dwelling unit. Wait a minute, is that the one I'm thinking? Something about, they have to be blood relatives.
Yeah, they say the same thing, about one
Mhm.
family, so if
Yeah.
you say
one
one
family.
family unit, boom, you're done.
Yeah,
Don't put a number on it.
the blood and all that stuff, that'll get,
That's back in further.
Yes,
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying.
that's
I would
confusing
say
because
you
it
take
is
out the number of
in
people.
single. I just saw it. And like I said, we're not copying theirs, but we're using it as a guide.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that,
You get rid of the number of people.
let's just say by one family.
Yeah, you can't tell me people can lodge in your house.
Heck, no.
That makes sense. Come on.
Yeah, I don't like lodgers or boarders,
I don't
although,
like that on there.
if you have a rental home, it should be a single family, but then again, you're back to family, right?
But you gotta make the definition right.
Well, the part is a dwelling, you know,
Single family,
huh?
single family.
Single family dwelling,
Yeah,
Or else we already had B and B, we
so
didn't need
not
it.
more than one family.
not more than one,
Yeah, I know.
I like that. What do you think of this, Rich?
Go ahead.
Larry says, a building containing one dwelling unit with not more than one family.
Okay.
Get
See,
rid
you gotta
of,
Be careful of that, cause you can't say what a family is.
Blood test can.
That's what the fair housing brought up.
I know, but we gotta do something.
Yeah,
We can't say 5 people,
no, stay with what everybody else is doing, you're fine,
family. Not more than one,
makes sense.
yeah. Well, some of this is common sense, I hope. I don't know if we're gonna make it through here. If we don't get through this, we're gonna put this section in next month's folder.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can have more than one meeting a month.
Yeah.
Or,
That's in there.
Yeah, we'll be here,
Yeah, we'll be here for 2 days.
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah.
This is the
And I'll be tired of looking at it.
Yeah, and I think an hour meeting is long enough, that's all I'm saying, we got 20 minutes left, so
Yeah,
we'll plow through for 20 minutes. Okay, 2 family, we'll change that to not more than one family in each. Okay? Guys with me?
Yep.
In each unit.
Yep.
Okay? I don't like lodgers and boarders, and I don't know where we come up with that number 5.
I don't like
But I was
it
here for that.
they actually have a definition in there for it, don't they, lodgers and boarders? Is there a definition on that?
Well, if it is, we're gonna get rid of it. It's on the next page, I think. No, I don't see it.
No, I don't
I don't see it. That's
Maybe it's
good.
lodging and boarding.
Well, we got rid of lodging
Well,
and boarding
lodgers,
now.
boarders, I mean, lodgers could be paying people.
Yes. We already took care of that.
Yeah, you're right.
B and B took care
Yeah,
of that.
lodging house too, yeah. Cause we want to get the Airbnb stuff in here. And I think we put a definition for it in. And we didn't use Airbnb, cause that's a corporate name.
Yeah, I has been looking through that Verbo,
Yeah,
yeah, I've been looking at.
that's
that.
also a corporate
We did,
name.
yeah, when you built the amendments up for that, that worked out very good.
Yeah. Verbo, what's that stand for? Anybody know? I do.
Vacation,
Rentals by owner.
Yeah,
That's what Verbo is.
Oh.
VRBO. Anyway, multifamily. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, that's, makes more sense.
Yeah. More than one dwelling, whether it's single family, two family, located on one lot around a common court or courts.
That's courtyards.
Do we need that in there? I mean,
No, probably not.
we probably can eliminate a common court or courts.
I think you eliminate the whole thing.
Well, it could be, you know, several dwellings, but they don't have to have a courtyard.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's just get rid of common court or courts.
it sounds like an architectural board.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
That's the PCA.
Redwood, for example, they don't have any courts, courtyards, they have driveways.
Just ponds.
Driveways. Alright, dwelling unit. Okay. I guess if you have cooking and provisions, you're gonna be eating. That seems like a frontier town or something. We gonna be eating? It's legal too. Essential services. That's a lot. I would say we just leave it in there, it's just saying, you have to have, somewhere in the book, we must need essential services to have a building or to do, just leave it the way it is, right, that's good with you? He's reading,
Oh, this is family here, this is.
oh, family, oh, you're on the next one.
That's the
already.
one, yeah, that's the
Ah,
one,
here you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's the one I was asking, talking about.
Yep,
There's the bloodline thing. Okay.
Now, I don't like the 5-person thing here,
yeah, we gotta get rid of that somehow.
and the other thing that needs to be put in there is adoption. Marriage,
Well, that makes it by law. If you're adopted, you're,
oh, okay,
Okay, that's why
okay,
the law's
gotcha,
in there.
I got you,
Yep.
okay.
but we gotta get rid of the 5 persons. Yeah, that's the law part of it,
Yeah, okay.
Oh, there it is.
not more than 5 persons.
Yeah,
Not
just take it out.
Or just say marriage or law.
Or group living together. I mean, cut out the
Mhm.
stuff between that.
Yep. And leave this. Okay,
In your case, that's servants and housekeepers. Oh, sorry.
servants having common house. So, servants can live there. Is that what we're saying?
That's what it says.
Okay, they're considered part of the family for this. Okay. My butler's okay.
Yeah, they are,
Yeah,
they're,
it's
that's
there.
part of that.
And
Yeah.
in England,
Huh?
or the UK,
Yeah.
it's not about this.
Residential facility.
Now, do we need to add anything else in here?
No, I hope
Because the
not.
law, the law by now has changed completely.
Maid, masseuse can live there if she needs to. Okay, we're gonna go to family home. Residential, room and board, personal care, habilitation services. Should that be rehabilitation services?
That's what I thought.
Supervision from 8 persons.
says 8 persons again.
That might be from ORC. Cause that has to be licensed. It doesn't say that, but it should be licensed, and if it's licensed, then that's probably why we got 8 in there.
Oh, for,
Family home.
Family home. A residential facility that provides room and board, personal care, habitation, services, and supervision. Okay, there's the part, supervision in a family setting for not more than 8 persons. That might be in there.
see, cause there's a thing about, childcare. The girl told me 8 was allowed in an A, and more can be allowed in a B, which is state regulated.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking, why the 8 number might. be.
That's why I think it's in there.
Okay, no, I'm
I mean, that was probably,
Yeah, that's just somebody just told me that.
so, the only change I might make is, I don't know what habilitation services is, I think it's supposed to be rehabilitation services.
So what I was just saying was daycare for kids. 8 was a number for a woman around here could do it,
Mm-hmm,
but only up to 8 kids.
up to 8 kids, she can keep in her house.
Yeah, so habitation.
Does she have to have a license?
She's not put
I
under the
thought so, too.
regulations like the, B
Like-
is.
Like,
And
She
it's
hasn't
like-
come to us.
like our church, you know, like
Yeah.
I said, that's under
Appeals
state,
board.
that's under state law.
The B is,
Yeah,
mhm,
the A is not.
I
Right.
see.
The A has to come to our appeals board.
So do we wanna change this to rehabilitation services?
Yeah, if you wanted to, or,
Yeah, cause I don't know what habilitation services are.
well, could that be just daycare? In other words, they're
you
just,
should write daycare,
they're
but
helping.
that's part A.
Huh?
That
Well,
would be part A.
this is definitely though with people with developmental disabilities.
Yeah, if
That's
you
the
don't have
last
in there,
part. It's not daycare.
if it's not in
Unless
there,
Oh, okay, I got you.
unless it's-
Yeah, rehabilitate,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that would be,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
that would be-
not, it's not for regular children.
Right.
This family
Gotcha,
home is not.
gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
read the last part.
Yeah.
I didn't, yeah.
Fence. Any problem with that?
We spent a lot of time.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that, and we put all those words in there. It's good to see them there. Floor area, some of the gross horizontal areas of one or several floors of a building measured from the exterior faces of the exterior walls or from the center line on common walls separating two buildings. Will not include basement, elevators, stair bulkheads, attic space, terraces, breezeways, open porches, and uncovered steps. I kinda would like to add somewhere in there, living space, living. Cause like, it might help eliminate some of this other stuff, basement, elevator, attic space, garages, that's not living space. No, I wouldn't wanna see living spaces, or livable spaces, or something in there like that. What do you guys think of that? You can't, a crawl space, it's not livable.
No.
It doesn't have that in there, you know. It has a lot of things that are not included, but it doesn't have crawl spaces, doesn't have garages.
Common walls separating two buildings. One or several floors. Could put it in there.
Yeah,
Of
yeah, yeah.
livable space of a
Gross.
building.
Livable space, yep.
Floors of livable space. Of a building measured,
Yeah, I'd like to see that in there, and then you don't have to worry about all this other stuff, basement.
Right, yeah, cause you can't,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things. that-
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that isn't included. Frontage. The address side of a building and or the portion of a lot nearest a street. For the purposes of these regulations, corner lots and double frontage lots, all sides of a lot adjacent to the street shall be considered frontage for the determining of yard requirements only. Okay, so a corner lot or a double lot, the frontage is still counted. Like a corner lot is counted both ways,
Right.
but that's just for the setbacks,
Setbacks.
okay? Everybody understand that? You got it, Rich?
It's like having two front doors.
Talking about corner lots and double lots. The frontage is still from the street. Okay, and leave that. And the only reason we're calling it frontage is for the determination of the yard requirements, which is setback. And we have yard requirements somewhere.
Now, I'm gonna throw a question in,
Okay.
like my daughter's house has a 50-foot right of way.
Oh.
Is that considered frontage? Because they sell an awful lot of lots like that today.
It's
Where
still
you
from the
access.
street back.
Huh?
It's still from the street back for setback, right?
We use asterisks
Uh-huh.
for any customary things on them, or a change. Use an asterisk unless it said something, unless it's, an asterisk that went down.
The right of way is gonna dictate.
Right,
the building,
where it
it's gonna
is.
force you back even further.
Right.
Yeah, cause their driveway's 1,100 feet long to get it back to their property.
Yeah. But stick with the frontage and don't worry about the setbacks yet. 'Cause we'll
Okay,
come to
no,
that.
okay. that's
I
good.
agree.
I get what you mean,
Gotcha.
you get locked into
Yeah,
it almost can make a language where you get locked into that.
Well, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, that's.
That makes sense.
yeah, all we're worried about is what you're calling the frontage.
Right,
It's the part towards the street,
right,
and it's a part towards the street if it's a double lot, and it's a
Right.
part towards the street both ways if it's a corner lot.
yeah,
That's all we're looking at, we're not gonna go to setbacks yet,
okay.
but that'll be in here. Garage private. Okay. I like that. Public. Okay, everybody good? Garage auto service shop? Okay, grade? I think we talked about that a little on, that sounds good to
It's
me.
good, yeah, the average, yeah.
Yep. Group home. There again, there's habilitation services. I don't know what that word means. And supervision, at least 9.
With development, so it should be
Yeah.
rehabilitation services.
And there, yeah, I think it should be rehab. And there again, these numbers, I'm sure are set up by ORC. 9 to 16 people is a group home. Leaves eight, up to 8 is a family home.
Yeah.
Okay, family group. Oh boy. Maybe we should end on this one.
It's just a definition.
Home occupation.
It's just a definition.
Okay, that's right, stick with that. Any use conducted entirely within a dwelling and carried on only by the inhabitants thereof, which use is clearly incidental to and secondary to the use of the building of the dwelling for dwelling purposes and does not change the character thereof.
Perfect.
I think that makes sense.
Yep.
That's pretty good, really.
It is.
That's not bad.
No.
It don't get into percentages, it don't get into signs,
You
it
don't
don't
wanna,
get.
you don't wanna get into.
No, it's
percentages.
just a definition. Larry was right. Hospital, a building devoted to the medical diagnosis, treatment, care of human patients, and including facilities for overnight or longer periods of care. Okay? Anything there, guys? Hotel, a building where lodging is provided and offered to the public for compensation and which is designed primarily for use by transient guests as distinguished from a boarding house. Okay, we can get rid of as distinguished from a boarding house or lodging house.
Yep.
Okay, and you know what I was thinking too, there's hotels that are long stay. We call them hotels. We don't call them, the almost home and the ones you stay at, for like 2 weeks or a month.
Yeah.
We don't need to have boarding house or lodging house in there, it's still a hotel.
That's language somewhat dated, so.
Yes, I think so. Junkyard, 25 square feet of any land, building, or structure. What's 25 square feet? That's 5 by 5.
Wow, we're actually using that right now.
Huh?
We're using that right now for, cars.
Okay, that's why it's,
Yeah, and it has something in there on your stuff about,
the car's like 6
Vehicles.
by 20?
Yeah.
That's 120
So it's like
square
half-
feet.
Not even half a car, so.
yeah, the only thing you would do is change a little bit, but like I said, I looked at it too, it's 5 by 5, but I got a generic letter down there now that actually has that in it. And I thought, 5 by 5, you know, and it said even inside a building, it kinda like was kinda strange. You know, I mean, that means in your garage, if I found a 5 by 5 full of junk.
Yeah.
Good. Are you trying to start a junkyard? Yeah. You know, I mean, that's what my mind,
It's the
Yeah, I
But
get it,
that's,
but
but that's inside the building.
what page are you on right now?
it's 12.
Yeah, I think I did pull that. Yeah, that's in one of my letters.
Do we need that in there, or you
Well,
wanna
5
keep?
by 5, that's really,
It's really small.
well, if you look on the other thing in the back, it says something about inside buildings. I said, come on. This was a little bit of a reach. But I thought, you know, I
It also
needed
says
for,
15 days.
Yeah.
well, see, we have fees for junkyards, and they're expensive. So I can't have that because we got somebody that's out of state that's actually bringing stuff in
Well,
Powell.
the use of more than 25. Okay.
Yeah, 25's pretty small, so 25's okay, 5 by 5, yeah.
It's not a junkyard.
You know?
Okay, here's a question. What about a dumpster? That's bigger than 5 by 5, if I have a
Sure is.
dumpster,
Dumpsters, I saw the other day, and I was gonna bring it
yeah, I
up,
know it's
and they only
contained, but
allow
it doesn't say
14
anything about
days.
containment in there.
Well, this is defined
14
as a
days,
junkyard.
what?
Right,
Before they have to be emptied?
but I'm just saying,
Right.
if it's a dumpster,
Before
it's
they
bigger
have
than
to be
5 by
emptied?
5, so
Yeah.
then it's
Is that what you're
15
saying?
days.
Yeah, and I read that,
That's what it
Because
says.
that's,
I know.
that's not right
So-
either.
I know.
I'll get your roll
That's
off
not right
box
either,
for
'cause you can get a month.
yeah, you can rent it for a month, but there's.
No, you can have a pickup once a month.
Right, but the deal with it is that there is something out there where on residential, it is 14 days and it's gotta be out of there, and if you're commercial, it's 30 days, once a month.
Oh,
Is that in our book,
What I'm
about
saying,
dumpsters or roll-offs? I might be in violation.
dumpsters cannot be
I get a
included.
roll-off.
It's like put them
About
down
once
for a
every
roof
3
and not
months,
be
and
in
I
there
keep
for
it
20
for,
days.
I'm allowed to keep it for 30
What
days
I'm
before I
saying
pick it up,
is-
I don't want to keep it that long, but
I can rent a
I didn't know
dumpster
that was
Right,
against
I
the
know what
rules.
you're saying.
for
Well,
a
it's not
1 month,
against the
Yeah.
once a month pickup.
We're making the rules.
So that's saying I'm illegal.
See, what the one thing is that it also brought over on if it's sitting in the road. Now, that was something I was thinking about.
Well, hopefully, nobody puts a roll-off in the road.
Well, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do.
That's out of our jurisdiction, that,
That's
Turn
true,
that over to the
it's on the
sheriff.
street,
Well, that's the road department.
yeah, or the sheriff.
with the sheriff,
Civil
it's
matter.
blocking, traffic, so.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The dumpster, I think there's enough for that already, you wouldn't really have to,
Okay.
you can make that up later, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, maybe we should put dumpster roll-off definition in here,
Or at least put the definition of what you want it to be.
yeah, we can put it in there, we don't have to regulate it, we'll just put a
Yeah.
definition in.
That's right.
I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn, but before we do
You wanna
that,
finish this page,
you wanna do it?
well,
I'm not-
Well, we figured the definitions were gonna take a while. Did you wanna do another meeting this month and
I do,
get it over with?
yes, that's why I was stopping, just cause,
Oh.
yeah.
2 weeks?
You wanna finish this page, Rich?
I don't care what it is.
doesn't matter,
Let's do it.
there's not much.
Yeah, there's only 4 or 5 left here. Okay, so junkyard, are we keeping it the way it is? You like it? Okay. It's enforceable?
We can enforce it.
Okay. Landscape, sodded, seeded, and or shrub materials or areas on all land.
Mhm.
Okay. Loading space. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why it's in italics, but. Okay,
Yeah.
this is where we're at, finished.
Well, because my lot, according to county, my lot starts in the middle of the road.
Right. But we're not gonna count that
Right, right,
As-
but I mean, that's
yeah,
why, that's why
as
it's in
square
there.
footage.
That's why it's in there.
So you wanna have another special meeting?
Yes, in 2 weeks, cause that way you can, yeah, you can put it in and we can email everybody and then put it in the paper or whatever it takes.
Yeah, I'll tell Sandy that.
So that'd be February 15th.
Correct. I got a whole bunch of stuff, minutes to sign. Can we approve a couple of them before we adjourn? The first one is, January's meeting, and she sent that out.
I got it.
You got January 4th?
Yep.
I make a motion that we approve as read.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Larry, can you sign this one? Brent is not here. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's interesting. I bumped the mic. I dropped the mic. I'm gonna give her these. And I'll keep, these copies for the other fellas. There's one each for, well, the three guys that are here. We voted on approving all these other minutes. So,
Regan, did you, say who was not there on the thing?
I did not.
Yeah, you probably should say that.
Okay, the two, absent from this meeting were our, Herb Klebaum and Brent Hunter, and also our, alternate was unable to attend tonight.
Yeah, talking. That's what
Were
Sandy
you at
said.
this meeting? Yep.
Yeah.
You can sign this one. Okay, we're good. I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're going to